Hey everyone, welcome to another exciting tutorial. For the ones that are frequent followers of my content, you might recall a tutorial I made some time ago where adornments were used for making circles. Today we will be looking into another technique. And I think many will prefer this method as it is simpler and it has a better result. If you have not already, consider subscribing and hit the bell if you wish to be notified whenever a new video comes online. Also, don't forget to check this video's description to find the link to the PBF Discord. Alright, let's begin. If you have not done so far, I would advise you to go and have a look at another video where I explain the Blender glitch, since this is the technique you will need for building this circle. I will add links to two of these videos as an info card right now. Let us start off with placing a cylinder and let us place it in the center of this floor tile. Especially when you need to have the circle at an exact position, this is important. And let's make it black, that way the sun doesn't reflect on the surface. What we will do now is create our directions first. For that we will be using wires. First, we need to start off from the center of the cylinder, and while we could drop a connection right in the center, it always seems a little bit off. Therefore, we place our first connection point somewhere else. And now we can lay the second connection point perfectly at the center. While in the electrical menu, it is possible to go one step down out of the menu, so the game remembers the wire connection, but the cursor is now much easier to locate the center. Once you have located the center, you simply go back up into the menu and you can place your wire. This is only a temporary wire, this will be deleted afterwards. It is only used to have a nice center to work from. From this center connection, we will lay cables in 4 different directions. Now let us start with the first wire, which we will be laying on the straight line here of this cylinder. Let's call it 0 degrees. In the meantime, take note of the notches along the ridge of the cylinder, we will come back to that. Now let us place the first cable right on the edge of the corner right here. Once the wire is laid, check and make sure the wire is level with the surface of the cylinder. Also, check the markings on the top of the connector. Make sure the 2 markings are on the top side of it. Once the first cable is laid and you're happy with it, you can delete the temporary wire. What we will be doing is Blender glitching floors with this wire. But before we do that, we need to finish our preparations. So let us continue with the other directions. We will be laying wires in the direction of 45, 22.5 and 67.5 degrees. We start once again from the center and lay our wire at an angle of 45 degrees. But instead of laying it right next to the 0 degree wire, let us lay it on the opposite side. And check out the notches again, they are perfect markers for this. The cylinder is a bit dark now. Good thing the wire lights up the area a little bit. Let us place it right here on the 45 degree notch. Now we have 2 directions at an angle of 45 degrees. And with that you can make circles of 24 sides. If you wish to have more sides, you will have to place 2 extra wires. One at 22.5 and 67.5 degrees. So this is 45 degrees, so halfway that should be 22.5. As the wire is again too close to the 0 degree wire, we will place it on the opposite side. Again, the notches will help us there. We could have placed a working light on top of this, as I have been doing in some previous tutorials. Let us change the color of the cylinder to make the notches a bit more visible. Blue should do just fine. Okay, so now we have 3 directions, 0, 45 and 22.5. One more to go, which should be here. But once again, to create a bit more spacing, let's place it opposite of it. And there we go, 4 different directions. To make sure each wire is in a different direction, you should not have any wire that is on a 90 degree angle with any of the other wires. If you have 2 wires which have 90 degrees between them, you will be glitching a floor tile in the same direction. To apply Blender glitch, we need another power connection point, so let us place a wire here. You can also use other connectors, but the wire will do just fine. Pillites, for example, have the tendency to disappear when deleting an accidentally placed wire. So let us now glitch the floor panels on the connection points of the wires we placed. Now, a quick recap of the glitch. You start off with the building part, in this case a floor tile. Then you press the L2 trigger, on the PS4 at least, to reveal the shortcut menu and make sure the wire is selected. Then we connect that wire to the first connection point. After that, we bring the wire to the connection point where we will be glitching the floor on. As you can see, by moving the cursor around, the connection point will change its direction. Let us say we will glitch it at the first connection here, the 0° one. Now the trick of this glitch is that we need to release the wire cable like this. But in the meantime, we need to pull the R2 trigger, which will place the floor tile. This technique requires some practice and you need to find the right timing, but once you found it, it gets much easier. If you are unsure how the rhythm works, check out another one of my tutorials where I show you the handling of the controller. I will drop another info card right now. So let us now start with glitching these floor tiles. So, floor panel, wire, connect the wire to the first connector, bring the wire to the center point, and glitch the floor on it. And there it is, the floor has now been glitched along the first wire. The wire is actually inside the floor tile now. Now, if you want to do a second one, you will notice that it is no longer possible to change the direction of the connector, almost as if the floor panel blocks the others. So, we need to move the floor outside of the center, therefore, the wires will become clear again. And let us just delete the wire that we glitched our floor on, that way the next connections will be easier. So let us continue this glitch now for the other three directions. And there we go, 4 directions. So let us just move the last one out of there as well, so we can delete the last wire. Once the floors have been placed in 4 directions, we can now bring them all back to the center. That will be done by using the adjacency glitch. In this case from front edge to floor panel. See how nicely the 4 floors have been glitched together. Checking the center and markings, you can see this looks nearly perfect. And also the level of the floor is one smooth surface. Let us now begin with building the circle. So, with the 4 faced floor tiles we have here, I will be able to make a circle of 48 sides. If I wish to make it even larger, I will need to add more foundation wires, and you will end up with 96 sides, which is massive. Let us start off with placing a wall on one side of these floor tiles. We will use the triangle pieces to create our circles, so we need to get the center of the hexagon aligned with the center of the faced floor tiles. We do that by placing 2 small floor tiles on the wall, which logically align with the center of the faced floors below. Now we need the tip of the triangle to point right at the center of it. As the big triangle does not snap on small triangles, we will need to make a big triangle out of small ones. If I delete these 2 small triangles now, you can see the big triangle right here. On this triangle, we connect a floor tile. And from there, we build our first 12-sided circle. And let us now extend the circle a little bit further, so we can create a new circle from the center, but from a different direction. And for tutorial purposes, I will only make a 24-sided circle. So let us look for the direction of the gap between the floor tiles and place a wall in that direction on the center. Once again, we place a small floor tile, and we don't need to build both of them. One floor tile and a triangle is enough to start from. And once again, we build another 12-sided circle, which is now offset by 45 degrees. Afterwards, we can extend the floors outwards once again, and you already see a nicely shaped 24-sided circle. If you want to create a 48-sided circle, you just look for the gap between the floor tiles again of the circle and place a wall in that direction on the centerpiece. And once again, you create a 12-sided circle, which you will extend again. Once that circle is done, you look at the remaining gap, place the wall, repeat the circle technique one last time. Let us move the floor back inside one step so we can have a look at how the circle looks. Let us begin with placing the easy ones and then front edge glitch the other 12 afterwards. And let me just speed this up. And there it is, a 24-sided circle, which could easily have been a 48-sided one. Now, if we look at the circle, you can see that I did not really place the wires perfectly, as there are a few small gaps between the floor tiles. So my advice is make hard work in placing the foundation wires as perfectly as possible. OCD is recommended, but once the basis is perfectly done, there is nothing to worry about. And that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something new. As always, let me know in the comments what you thought of this tutorial. And if you have any questions, remarks or better solutions, please do not hesitate to place them in the comments. Or just join our Discord, share your bases, ideas or questions with us. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you are not already, perhaps you could subscribe. That way you can always keep up to date with further content I'm posting. If you want to see more, click one of the thumbnails showing on the screen right now.